What's going on, guys? It's Brad with Trading OTCs. How's it going tonight? Appreciate you tuning in with me. And do I have a special one for you? The title is not clickbait. This really happened. This is a real trade from one of our real members, and I'm super excited to show you uh, what his thought process was and how he found success in this trade. So before I do anything else, let me just go ahead and address the elephant in the room, and that I do look like a 12-year-old boy today because, me and the beard trimmer, we don't usually get along. And yeah, that's what happened. So I woke up late one morning, the other morning, and was in a rush and didn't check the settings on my trimmer. And you ever like not go like 2 weeks without mowing your grass, and then like the first strip is like super low, and then the rest of the grass looks like it's 2 feet tall. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened here. I had like this strip on the side of my face, and I was like, well, can't do anything about it now. Just gonna take care of all of it. So it'll be back in a week or so, but whatever. I mean, I feel like it happens every other month now, so you should be used to it at this point. But anyway, I just wanted to thank you all for joining me tonight. I always love doing these videos. It's one thing for me to show you how I find success, but I think it's another thing to show you how other people within our group find success, and that it's not all me. It's people within our group, people who are learning, people who are actually finding success based off of the certain steps that we do and the disciplines that we have. And this was a ticker that I didn't even trade myself. This is one that he found on his own, based off of the networking that he did within our group and his own due diligence and the work that he put in. He made the trade and came out big. I see some of the comments. I think you better invest in a better beard trimmer. Yeah, I probably should. Something a little bit better than the $20 one that I got, I guess. Just not high on my priority list. But the ticker symbol we're going to talk about is LRDR. This is one that it's been pretty hot here within recent months, actually. I'll tell you ahead of time that our member here, and everybody can laugh at his screen name, but everybody knows him in the group. His Heavily Armed Clown is his screen name, and I'm not going to say that all night, but we'll just go with Clown. He is a pretty big presence within our group. Found a lot of success in other trades, but I think this by far and large is probably one of his biggest wins. So we'll break that down. And LRDR, let me go ahead and share my screen with y'all. So LRDR was a stock that that Clown had got into at 0012, and so that was actually way back in January, or no, very beginning of February, actually. And the reason we got into this is because it was shouted out in the group that court documents were filed actually back in January for custodianship to be taken over by a CEO whose name is Joseph Acaro. And I can show you the court documents here. I found these through Investors Hub. So if you guys aren't familiar with Investors Hub, this was shared by actually one of our members, is I Like BB Stock as well. He's also a heavy presence on investorshub.com. Posted this, that court date was to be determined on February 13th. And why this is a big deal? Why does this matter? Well, Joseph Acaro always seems to turn shells, or whenever he takes over a company, he always seems to do just extremely well and find great success in anything that he seems to get his hands on. And so I clicked on this link for you. I have it pulled up for you. And you can see the filing here that he's looking to get custodianship of this particular stock. And whenever people see his name somewhere, they instantly start buying this thing. The thing is, though, is that it didn't take, it took a while for people to actually catch on to these things. That's what happens, though, too. Like, if it's not being promoted, if it's not, a whole lot of volume going on initially, then, they're tough to find. But as you can see here, again, this is the technical analysis tool that I use. It's called tradingview.com. So if you're familiar with this or not familiar with this, I like to use this because, everybody's on their own different platform. And instead of just flip-flopping from E-Trade to TD or Thinkorswim or whatever, I'd like you guys to start getting used to seeing this. Because this is something that everybody can use no matter what platform you're trading on. And I think it's got a lot of really good tools to use no matter what style of technical analysis you use. So anyway, as you can see here, volume really jumped on this towards the end of January, early February, and it came from triple zero. Look at this, 0002, 0001, and has run up highs today of over 1.7 pennies. So that is an astronomical run, and it's not even really running. It's just a gradual slow. This is actually what you want to see when you make trades down here. Is that especially if you're planning on trading long, um, you know, seeing this steady growth is just, it's freaking awesome. I mean, how can you not love this chart? Just very, short bursts of volume based off of, stuff that's coming down the pipe or whatever like that. And so, if I can go back here and show you, updates that have been occurring on this since, Clown has been in this. The court docs were updated and approved towards the end of this month, which caused it really to start spiking up over that penny. And here's something to show you too. I actually thought this was interesting. Someone shared the past Joseph Acaro custodianships, and if you can do your own research, but I can tell you right now, guys, that there's several on here that are trading either at or above a dollar, and there's even one that's trading nearly $10 a share. So that's huge. Now, again, this isn't something that I'm telling you to buy into or whatever else. This is just how Clown has shown or did his due diligence and how he saw value in this particular stock simply because the custodian ship was being taken over by Joseph Acaro. He's a very successful CEO. It just, like I said, whenever he seems to touch something, it just takes off and just becomes a very successful company. He's got the knack for it for whatever reason. So whenever somebody finds out that he's taken over something, it really starts to gain attention. And just to kind of show you, I had him send me a screenshot just to verify that this was a trade he made. So here's the principal right now of his investment, which is $881, and this is the profit at the end of the day today, which is pretty amazing. Seven. So he basically, like as the title said, again, it's not clickbait, guys. This is a real deal. Turned $881 into nearly 8 grand, and if you round it up, I mean, come on, 900% is good enough for me. 899% gain. So this is just, and then this happens, guys. This happens more often than you think. And I want people to understand that, I get direct messages all the time from people who are like, oh, well, I'll get into OTCs when I have money for it, or I'll get into OTCs when I get, up to a certain amount. But for now, I'll just trade big board stocks, or I'll trade stuff that has 5 to 10% potential. And it's like, that's great for you. Like if you're just looking for that steady growth and you just want to see 5 to 10% potential and then you're happy with that, that's fine. But for me, I think, and this is just my opinion, that when you don't have a whole lot to trade with, say you only you're floating around $1,000 to $3,000 to trade with, and you're only getting 5 to 10% potential on that, you're only seeing $50 to $100 per trade, and that's if you're successful every trade. For me, the reason why I love the OTCs, A, the volatility, and B, you don't need to necessarily spend a whole lot to get a lot in return, as long as you do the work and the proper due diligence and follow along with us within our group and do take the right steps to make these trades. Guys, like, this is real. I want you to understand that, like, I'm not making this crap up. This stuff happens often. And we have the right people within our group that won't steer you wrong. And again, we're not telling you what to trade. We like to guide people into like how we do our work, how we find out these diamonds in the rough, if you will. For Clown to show us all that today was just amazing. Now he took he bought in a little bit more. He sold a little bit, I think he said. but he's leaving the rest in there. Basically, the rest of it's just free shares. He said that everything that's sitting in there right now is just pure profit. So um, anything that he cashes out now is just is money in his pocket. And but I think for him personally, I think he's going to sit tight and wait. Actually, there's another uh, Joseph Acaro shell that was acquired by him as well. It's CYPE. That was another one that was recently trading at triple zero and the triple zeros and went up over a dime within the last 2 days. So uh, stuff with Joseph Akar is huge. But the important thing is that we all work together to find the due diligence that we need in order to make informed decisions and make them on our own. And this is just a testament to the fact that he didn't necessarily listen to everything that I'm telling him about specific tickers that I see value in. Like he went off on his own and did this. This just goes to prove, and I tell you guys this all the time, is that I don't know everything. I can't find every major runner that's out there because there's so many. The OTC is diluted with so many stocks and so many tickers. And so while I do find success, I don't find success in every single thing that runs. And there's so many potential plays out there that you can find on your own. And he did that and cashed out big. It's just amazing. I think that stuff like this is just a testament to how strong of a group we have. And there's a lot of noise out there that, or negative connotation against the OTC. But I'm telling you guys, we are winning and we are winning big down here. And it's just really awesome to see. So that's my small spiel. I'm just going to go ahead and check out to see if there's any questions. So somebody said, how did BB initially find out about the custodianship before he posted it? That's a question for BB. I actually don't know. I didn't ask him. But Chris, he's in our group, so definitely ask away. A lot of the success that we find is with just pure networking. And that's actually one thing that Clown said too, is like, the network that we have of people that go out and find some of this information is one of the biggest reasons for our success too. Right. I mean, it's almost next to impossible to try to be successful on your own when it comes to trading these types of stocks. And there's definitely power in numbers. And yeah, so I would definitely reach out to him and ask him how maybe somebody through his own network, showed it to him. Are most OTCs traded on TD? Yes. So TD Ameritrade and E-Trade, in my opinion, by far and large, are the best platforms to trade over-the-counter stocks on. Thinkorswim also falls under that umbrella, obviously, because it is still considered TD Ameritrade. So if you have Thinkorswim, you can trade them. So what can you say about VTNL? VTNL is one that I traded quite a bit ago, and I actually sold right before it ran. Unfortunately, I was in it for a long time and just grew impatient. And stupid me. Sometimes we all get impatient and just forget, to go back to our own disciplines. And I actually sold when it was still sitting in the trips and were triple zeros, and it ran almost to 008. So felt a little sick about that one, but it is what it is. You just, you forget about it, move on to the next one, because that's just how it is down here. There's always another one that's going to be coming down the pike. So, over the counter equals penny. No, over the counter. So if you guys are new to my channel and you're not familiar with what over the counter stocks are or OTCs are, they're stocks that aren't publicly traded in the New York Stock Exchange. They are considered pink sheets, or basically back in the day, the reason they called them pink sheets is because that's the actual color of the sheets that they were paper traded. But since then, obviously things have evolved into electronic trades and stuff like that. But it's still is something you can trade on the popular platforms such as, again, TD Ameritrade and E-Trade. I'm part of the LPP group and wanted to start trading penny stocks. What's a good beginner's video and a startup tutorial? This channel is a great channel to start your due diligence on penny stocks. Mine's obviously more focused on over the counter, so you're going to see penny stocks, but you're also going to see micro penny or like sub penny stuff. That's primarily the kind of stuff that we get into. We try to find the bottom of these stocks and look for potential catalysts, as well as any other information we can find on it. Sometimes you can find decent patterns to trade. Maybe if you just want to do a day trade on it, and I have that information here as well. So you're just gonna have to sift through and check it out yourself. Chris, bro, thank you. Appreciate the donation. Thanks so much. Yeah, you're a consistent donator on my channel. I just love it. Thank you very much for that. Um, uh, when do you decide that your OTC stock pick is dead or you should sell? I'm going to leave that up to your own discretion. As I just pointed out, I got impatient with my own self and sold out of a stock because I just got sick of waiting. But then 2 weeks later, it was literally like 2 weeks later, it ran. So that's just going to be your own decision. Like, can you afford to let it sit there? And do you have other money sitting aside somewhere else that you can play around with and trade and continue making money over here while you're just waiting for this to pop off? That might be your decision. Some people have accounts that are large enough to the point to where it's like, it's not really killing me if it's sitting there. I know I did the due diligence on it, and I'm just going to wait to see what comes out. If that's your position, where you have other money you can trade with while that's sitting there, by all means. It sucks to be a bag holder sometimes, but it is what it is. We've all been there, and we've all made our own decisions on what we want to do next with it. So it's entirely up to you as far as like the value you see in that stock that you're in at the current time. Okay. Do you keep your profits to trade more or withdraw and take early withdrawal fee? Uh, well, I don't know about an early withdrawal fee. Early withdrawal fees are associated with things such as like a 401k or an IRA or something like that. There's no early withdrawal fee when you're trading like we are. Um, so as far as keep your profits, I always suggest, especially if you're just starting out, whenever you either uh, see like a 50% gain or even double your money, at the very least, sell your initial investment and then ride the rest of those free shares. And that's exactly what Clown did. And those free shares is pure profit. And then you can sell that whenever you're satisfied with the profit that you're making. If it's continuing to run, you can sell as the run goes up. And that's the method to our madness, if you will. Let's see here. Since you're buying small price shares, do you literally buy tens of thousands of shares at once? Sometimes millions. I actually have a few positions that have millions of shares on. It just depends on the price, obviously, as to whether or not you can afford millions of shares. But it's pretty easy to buy millions of shares when it's trading at 000 something, 00001, 0002. Okay. Are penny stocks suitable for day trading? Yes, absolutely. There's a certain price range that you should personally recommend. Not necessarily. It all depends on like where do you find the bottom, of these stocks. Oftentimes they'll rest and hover, you know, uh, at whatever price they're sitting at. Sometimes it's like maybe 0015, 0016, and it's just hovering around that price, or even down in the trips if it's sitting at 0002, and all of a sudden there's some random volume showing up on it, and you do a little bit more work and see that, okay, there's something going on here. We'll get into something like that. MSPC was a good example of that. Made my biggest trade ever on that particular ticker. So, you know, um, it is what it is. It just all depends on where we can identify the bottom, and if we can determine if there's a potential catalyst coming to that in the near future. Um, NTLK, that's a good question. There seems to be a lot of good things coming with that. I don't know. Sometimes you'll find uh, that people try to push the price of the stock down based off of maybe they're just dumping shares in order to try to drive the price down. People do that, unfortunately. Um, but if you've done the work and you believe in that particular ticker, and especially with all the PR that's been coming out on NTLK, it really doesn't make sense that it's been trading under 2 cents. I think that's what it closed at today, like 1.8 cents or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, for me, I think that there might be some slight manipulation going on with that, whether it's with market makers or people who might have a heavy bag on it. It's really hard to determine whether or not that's happening, but you always kind of speculate, right? So let's see here. So websites for stock researching, if you go back, if you're just joining my video tonight, I actually showed a few of them to you. So Investors Hub was one of them. Um, Trading View was another. Also, OTCmarkets.com is one that I always go to look at profiles for, and that's the other thing. But I'll get back to that. But OTCmarkets.com is another a good due diligence. And obviously visiting our Discord chat group. If you're new to this channel, I actually have links to our Discord chat in the description below, as well as our Facebook group, which is Techbuds-Solutions. And so I wanted to go back to LRDR real quick. There's something to be said for LRDR being traded at the price that it's being traded at because of Alcaro's reputation. This ticker isn't even current yet. For those of you who are familiar with OTC markets and current status and that sort of thing, this still has a stop sign on it. So they haven't had all their current filings aren't up to date yet, and it's trading the way it's trading. So pretty amazing stuff. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for you. I wanted to close real quick. Somebody sent me an amazing quote, and I just wanted to share that with you. That quote. Um, I thought it was good. He just reached out to me, this afternoon. Was like, "Hey, I thought of you when I saw this." And so I don't know who said the quote, but I thought it was fantastic. It says, "The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man." And I thought that was awesome. I really did. But you guys tell me what you think. Leave comments in the description. If you like this video, please smash the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. How can you not like this video tonight and want to be a part of what we're doing here? So that's all I got for you guys tonight. As always, I will see you before the bell, and B Smith is out.